farm at Genesis Gardens Homestead, and today I'd like to share my recipe of calabacitas. This is one of my personal favorites. I remember my grandma always making it, my mom, and now I'd like to share my recipe with you. So everything that all the ingredients that are required for this recipe can be purchased at the farmer's market or at our farm. And you'll need some jalapeno for some spice, tomatoes, garlic, and of course your squash or calabacitas. I like to use the yellow zucchini, a regular green zucchini, and your Mexican squash. And of course, a nice onion. So once you got your ingredients, you go ahead and chop them up. I like to chop up my squash into little triangles, nice thick ones. It just gives it good texture, something a little more meaty to eat. Go ahead and finely dice your onions and jalapenos and your garlic. And I like to use a little bit of butter and olive oil just to saute all my vegetables in. So go ahead and add a little bit of butter to your pan. And a little bit of olive oil. First, I like to start with sauteing my jalapenos and my onion and your garlic. Go ahead and mix that up nicely. And once you get everything started cooking, it starts to create its own juices as well, which is also a great addition to this dish. Once your jalapenos and your garlic and your onions are nicely sauteing, you can go ahead and add your calabacitas. And mix that up nicely. And the next part of this recipe is to add corn. You can use canned corn, frozen corn, fresh corn shucked off the cob, whichever you have on hand. I happen to have corn from this past season that I had put away from the farmer's market. So it's frozen now. So you go ahead and add your corn. About half a cup or so, depending on how much you like corn. Mix it up nicely. And I usually just put a little bit of salt and pepper. I like to put a lot of fresh garlic, so I don't necessarily use any powdered garlic, but you're free to use powdered garlic, powdered onion, however you like to season your vegetables will work for this dish. And a little bit of salt. Now, I want to be mindful on the salt that you put because we do add cheese at the end, and that also adds a little saltiness to your dish, and you don't want to over salt it. Go ahead and mix that up. Smells so good. And at this time, I can go ahead and add my tomatoes. Usually just need one tomato or so, depending on how much you're making, but usually one's enough. Just add some nice color to it and creates more of that juice. So I simmer on about medium heat for about 5 to 8 minutes or so. Just let that sit for a little bit, and then you'll know that your calabacitas are ready when they're nice, when they can be pierced with a fork, nice and easy. So once that's done, you have your finished calabacitas, and I like to add some cheese. And you can use, I like the cotija cheese or any kind of shredded cheese, mozzarella, Monterey Jack, any kind of cheese you like is good with this. And you could serve it this way. Sometimes you can serve it, I like it with the juice, so I'll usually use a bowl and have a little bit of the juice with it. And just enjoy it. It's so delicious. Very good. Thank you for following my recipe, and I hope you enjoy.